think it's good to start doing a lot of enjoyment in the beginning and trying to understand what you respond to. There's a lot of work that I personally really respond to, but I don't want to live with. So you need to kind of start thinking about that. What do you want in your life every day to look at and to experience and to be in your home or your business? What kind of emotions does it evoke? And we all have different tastes. I mean, some of us like a nice, solid, stable SUV that's white and nondescript, where some of us like a flashy, Porsche. It just kind of depends. They each evoke a different response in us. So I think it's important to start kind of tuning into your heart, into your head about what you feel. I also think a lot of people don't really have, we're losing our ability to make aesthetic choices. And I think it's good to, a question I pose to people is, what's your preference, McDonald's or Burger King? Because that's an aesthetic choice. I mean, do you prefer, and then why? Do you like Burger King because of the charbroiled, or do you like McDonald's because they've got the super salty, delicious fries? It starts with something simple like that, and then you can kind of build up as to your choices and what you respond to as a human, and your emotions and your taste and your color, or do you like artwork that's compositionally challenging, or the subject matter makes you a little nervous, or does it actually make you feel sweet and happy? Does it remind you of the first time you fell in love? That's why a lot of people buy artwork when they're on vacation, is because it kind of it reminds them of the good time they're having while they're on vacation. Sometimes you get home and you don't really think you can live with that, but other times you're really excited because it reminds you of that amazing time. I know one collector, and she says that you should buy the piece that kind of freaks you out the most, because that's the one that will challenge you every day.
Do you think most people want to be challenged every day?
No, I don't think so, because we get a lot of challenging, in our lives. So I think sometimes it's nice to surround yourself with something beautiful and pretty and precious. I like pieces that I know I'll find something in it. I can walk by it every day, and then one day walk by it and see this little detail. Oh, I never noticed that before. I mean, that's really an important part of the overall composition and piece, and it changes the way I feel about it. So I like to have work that kind of grows with me. That's just my personal preference. And part of being a gallery owner is helping people discover what the purpose is of the art in their life. Is it merely to fill a space on their wall, which we can do. It's no problem. It's like picking out a piece of furniture. But also, do you want? Because then you can change it a lot, and it can not have as much importance to you. But I also think it's important to, in your home, change artwork around a lot, and it'll have a different meaning in different parts of your home. It's kind of fun. It's interesting.
Is there a piece of art in your own house that maybe says something about you, or says something to you that's very meaningful?
Yes, I actually think I can look back on a lot of my purchases, and especially with photography, and I can tell personally, I know that they represent a time in my life. One was, I was going through a breakup, and it's a photograph of a nude, and the woman is completely scratched out, and she's headless. And so it's kind of about the loss of my identity in that relationship, and how, when I purchased it at the time, I thought it was purely, I was actually in Europe, and I thought that it was just kind of a souvenir purchase, because it was a pretty good deal for the dollar at the time. But when I look back on it now, it's really a vital part of my emotional growth. So I love having the piece, and it reminds me kind of how much I've grown away from that part of my life. And so I like having pieces like that. I've got some great, happy, wonderful pieces that I look at and I'm like, that represents a pure, joyous time in my life.
And art can do that, I guess.
Yes. It's got a great local painter, Matthew Depper, who I've just been communicating on Facebook with. Got a great piece of his of this weird little bug holding a knife and a fork. And I have it in my kitchen, and I see it every single time I unload and load my dishwasher, and it just makes me real happy. And it's kind of a strange thing to have in the kitchen, but
Is it whimsical? Would that
it's
be the right
very
word to
whimsical.
use?
It's on cardboard. It's totally. I bought it for $40. It's fantastic. I love it.
Well, thank you, Dede. I really appreciate you taking the time to let me
Sure.
talk to you and interview you.
It's very enjoyable.
Thanks a lot.